Hi there. So today we're going to talk about the irregular verbs in the preterite tense, in the simple past tense. Now, if you remember when we looked at the regular verbs in this tense, there were two lots of endings. There was one lot of endings for your AR verbs and a second lot of endings for your ER and IR verbs. Now what we're going to do is look at the irregular verbs. Now, first of all, there are a different set of endings for these irregular verbs, which unfortunately is a bit of a mixture of your AR and ER and IR verbs. So your endings for these irregular verbs are which is your E with the accent, Then we go to the ER, IR endings, iste. Back to your AR endings, o. Back to your ER and IR endings, imos, istais, ieron. So your endings are iste, o, imos, istais, ieron. Now, once we have those endings, we also have to look that there are stem changes. So remember, the stem of the verb is the part of the verb that's left when we remove the AR, ER or IR, and we have the stem. So for instance, in the verb estar, E-S-T-A-R, the verb to be, the stem is est, E-S-T. Now, in the past tense, it completely changes. It becomes estuve, E-S-T-U-V-E, and we add those endings that we spoke about. So it becomes estuve, estuviste, estuvo, estuvimos, estuvisteis, estuvieron. Let's try it together. Estuve, estuviste, estuvo, estuvimos, estuvisteis, estuvieron. Now, another verb that does exactly the same pattern is the verb andar, to walk, which becomes anduve. So, following on with the same pattern, anduve, anduviste, anduvo, anduvimos, anduvisteis, anduvieron. Let's try it together. Anduve, anduviste, anduvo, anduvimos, anduvisteis, anduvieron. Muy bien. Another verb that does that, of course, is the verb tener, to have. Tuve. It's a really useful verb, this. Tuve, tuviste, tuvo. Tuvimos, tuvisteis, tuvieron. Let's try it together. Tuve, tuviste, tuvo. Tuvimos, tuvisteis, tuvieron. Now, there's quite a few verbs that will do this stem change and then the endings. Saber, for instance, becomes supe, S-U-P, and your endings. Supe, supiste, supo, supimos, supisteis, supieron. So that's the verb saber, to know. Another one, of course, the verb caber, C-A-B-E-R, to fit in, which becomes coupe, also with the P. Coupe, coupiste, cupo, coupimos, coupisteis, coupieron. Another verb that's very popular is the verb to put, poner. Poner becomes puse, P-U-S, and your endings. Puse, pusiste, puso, pusimos, pusisteis, pusieron. Let's try it together. Puse, pusiste, puso, pusimos, pusisteis, pusieron. The verb poder, of course, which is to be able, becomes pude, P-U-D, with your endings. Pude, pudiste, pudo, pudimos, pudisteis, pudieron. Let's try. Pude, pudiste, pudo, pudimos, pudisteis, pudieron. Okay, let's look at some that have the stem change, and in the stem change they go to the I. So for instance, the verb querer, to want, becomes quise. So they completely change the letter there. They do the I and completely change to the S. Quise, quisiste, quiso, quisimos, quisisteis, quisieron. Let's try it together. Quise, quisiste, quiso. Quisimos, quisieis, quisieron. Now, another one, of course, is the verb venir, to come. Vine, viniste, vino. Vinimos, vinisteis, vinieron. Will we try again? Vine, viniste, vino. Vinimos, vinisteis, vinieron. And another verb that we have there, let me think. Of course, there is the verb hacer. Hacer goes to the I too, to do or to make. Hice, hiciste, hizo, hicimos, hicisteis, hicieron. One more time. Hice, hiciste, hizo, hicimos, hicisteis, hicieron. Okay, good. Now, that's your kind of stem change verbs with the extra endings. We also have some verbs that are just completely different. The verb to go, ir, of course in present tense, is voy, V-O-Y. In the past, it becomes fui, F-U-I. Sounds a bit of a W sound there. Fui. So it becomes fui, fuiste, fue. Fuimos, fuisteis, fueron. Again. Fui, fuiste, fue. Fuimos, fuisteis, fueron. Now that's the past tense of the verb ir, to go. It also becomes past tense of the verb ser, to be, is also your fui. The verb decir, D-E-C-I-R, to say or to tell, becomes dije, D-I, J for John, E. Dije, dijiste, dijo. Dijimos, dijisteis, dijeron. Okay, let's try that verb one last time. Dije, dijiste, dijo. Dijimos, dijisteis, dijeron. Okay, so the past tense is something that we use very, very often. Almost everything we say is in the past tense up until just a second ago. So it's really important that we grasp these irregular verbs in the past tense. If you want to head over to the website, of course, there's lots of exercises there that you can do, little practical exercises that you can do to try and remember the different changes in the past tense. It's not an easy thing to master, but almost it's like climbing a mountain. This is the hardest thing that you have to do with the verbs, and it's going to get easier as you come back down. That's what I always tell my students, and it does seem to work. So head over there to the website, try some of those practical exercises, and try your best to really master these irregular verbs in the preterite tense, and you'll be ready to move on. Okay, thank you.